In the 13th century BC, the Bronze Age civilization reached its apogee. The great powers, Egypt, the Hittite Empire, Assyria, and Mycenaean Greece, controlled vast territories of the Mediterranean and the Middle East, establishing the boundaries of their possessions. The last major battle between these states took place at Kadesh, where the armies of Pharaoh Ramses II and the Hittite king Muwatalli II met. The outcome of the battle remained unclear, but both rulers hastened to declare themselves the winners and immortalize this in monumental inscriptions. After Kadesh, a fragile peace was established between the powers, and it seemed that civilization would continue to develop. However, in 1206 BC, a series of events began that went down in history as the invasion of the Sea Peoples and led to the complete destruction of the established order. Even the fall of the Western Roman Empire thousands of years later did not have such catastrophic consequences as this crisis. The end of empires and the beginning of the Dark Ages. No palaces remained intact on Crete, and 90% of the settlements in Mycenaean Greece were destroyed. Writing disappeared and had to be recreated. Entire regions were plunged into chaos for hundreds of years. The Hittite Empire ceased to exist, and cities from Troy in the north to Giza in Egypt in the south were wiped off the face of the earth. Coastal areas were particularly hard hit. Syria was almost deserted, and Egypt, although it survived, lost an entire dynasty of rulers. Only Egyptian chronicles have brought us evidence of what happened. They speak of waves of attacks by certain sea peoples, formidable aliens distinguished by a high level of organization and powerful weapons. What caused the disaster? Historians agree that the collapse of civilizations was caused not by one, but by a whole complex of factors. The old world was mired in economic, political, and demographic crisis. States faced resource depletion and lost the ability to control their borders. At this point, warlike tribes entered the scene, mastering shipping, military craft, and armed with bronze. Several factors led to their success: weakening of powers. The largest states stopped warring with each other, which led to a reduction in armies and a decline in military potential. Economic crisis. A lack of resources made the army an expensive luxury, and weapons production slowed. Falling defenses. Coastal cities were vulnerable to rapid attacks by sea raiders. How did barbarians destroy a civilization? At first, barbarian tribes only raided individual cities, but soon realized that the former rulers of the world could not fight back. Teaming up with pirates, they attacked major ports, destroying economic centers. Their success inspired new groups of invaders, and within a few decades, the entire Bronze Age system collapsed. The attackers continued to use bronze weapons, although they were gradually replaced by iron. Perhaps, quick robberies gave them enough wealth to afford high-quality armor and weapons. But their main advantage was their desperate motivation. Tribes that had lost everything saw robbery as their only chance for survival. Thus, powerful civilizations collapsed, and the ancient world plunged into chaos, from which it would only emerge in a few centuries. Now you know more. Like and subscribe to the channel to spend time on the internet usefully.